Mr. Chairman. Thank you all for being here today. Secretary Austin, during your confirmation process, you disclosed that you were on the board of Raytheon Technologies, one of the nation's largest defense contractors. And that caused me to ask you for some commitments about ethics issues that you would face. Existing ethics laws already require some commitments, but they don't go nearly far enough. And this matters a lot because the Pentagon spends $360 billion every year on goods and services provided by contractors. And those contractors have a revolving door with the DoD. So that's why I've introduced legislation to strengthen ethics rules for all public officials. But it's also why I asked you during your hearing to extend your recusal from matters involving Raytheon for the duration of your government service. I asked you to pledge not to receive or not to seek a waiver of that recusal and to refrain from seeking compensation from a giant defense contractor within 4 years of leaving government service. And you agreed to make those commitments, and I want you to know, I appreciate that. I think the American people appreciate that too. Secretary Austin, as I recall, you explained that you voluntarily made these commitments because you think it's important that the American people have concrete assurances so that they never doubt that you are working for them and not for giant defense contractors, right?
Yes, that's true.
Good. And I just want to say, I also asked several Trump nominees to make the same commitments, and they refused. You, by contrast, demonstrated considerable leadership in making those commitments. Now, since your confirmation, the Senate has confirmed 5 additional nominees to go to work at the Pentagon. Not a single one of them was on the board of a major defense contractor. None of them reported that the bulk of their income came from our most powerful contractors. And I appreciated that, and I supported all of their nominations. But this committee is now being asked to consider nominees who don't meet that test. And in these cases, when nominees report the vast majority of their income from major defense contractors, either through direct employment or consulting, or when they're on those companies' boards, I plan to ask nominees to make the same voluntary ethics commitments that you did during your confirmation. So let me ask you, Secretary Austin, do you agree that the people working for you who have similar or even more extensive ties to industry should be living up to the same ethics commitments that you made? Do you think it's important that the American people have confidence, as you put it, that these Pentagon officials are working for the American people and not for their former employers in the defense industry?
Well, Senator, you've heard me say on a number of occasions that sound ethical behavior is important to us, important to me, and important to the department. I have every reason to believe that those who have been nominated to serve will conduct themselves properly and exercise sound ethical behavior. And I truly support I'm truly appreciative of your support in getting our nominees confirmed as quickly as possible. We absolutely need them on the team.
Well, let me say though, I recognize the importance of filling these important Defense Department positions, but I'm asking for commitments that they are going to avoid conflicts of interest, and I've laid out what they are, and you've agreed to them. So the question I'm asking is whether you think that the people who are going to be working for you who have these ties should make the same kind of commitments that you made.
Senator, I believe that they will conduct themselves appropriately. I have no concerns about their ethical behavior. I think that they are committed to doing the right things.
Well, look, I appreciate that you don't want to step into this, but this is what leadership is about. I'm still in conversation with the current nominees where I think these commitments are warranted, and I hope that we can come to an understanding as their nominations progress. And if we can, I will support their nominations. But in these cases and going forward, if nominees with significant ties to the defense industry refuse to make the commitments you made, then I will vote no in this committee on their nominations, and I will ask for a roll call vote on the floor where I will vote no again. So let me be clear. I'm asking for these commitments, not because I'm challenging anyone's integrity, but because I think it is critical that the American people have total confidence that our public officials are truly working for them and not for the defense industry that has paid them so well. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.